Hey there, kids! Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. It is Monday. It's a new week. Welcome. We're going to continue on with this Shiki build. We got some good stuff done over the weekend. I'll show you that, and then we'll get to duplicating it as well. Wanted to try to get ahead of the game a little bit and kind of get a game plan on kind of where to go and what to do this week and stuff. So went ahead, like I said, worked a little bit over the weekend on this thing, and yeah, we'll show you what we did and show you how we did it as well. So that'll be good stuff there. So I don't know if you guys noticed the post on social media and stuff like that, but rewired this beast right here, the photo booth, yesterday, and that is all up and running again. Happy to say. You know, I had to... the first time I rewired it, I don't know what I was thinking in terms of running the wires. Number one, the whole photo booth was a rush job. It's put together very poorly. Like, none of the panels line up, and it looks like an absolute caveman put it together. If I remember correctly, at a time I was basically just rushing to put it together because I was tired of taking photos of things on my messy workbench. Kind of how I'm feeling right now, honestly. And I wired it so weird. Number one, I don't think I really had a plan, and didn't really think about all of that. But now with the price of electrical wiring, Romex and stuff like that, you gotta think about that, right? So rerouted things a bit differently, more efficiently, cleaner, and everything. And then instead of the fluorescent lights that I was using back in the day, going to LED lights, similar, the exact same lights that are up underneath the cabinets here. But under here I have just one. Okay, so I just have one of these lights, and then that's going to have those lights as well. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so that's all wired. It's looking good. It is ready to rock. So happy with that. Now, oh wait, do I have two? Oh yeah, no, I do have two. That's why. Okay, so there's two underneath here. So 4 lights altogether. Okay, I was just like, wait a minute, but the other one is back underneath it, just at the edge here, so I couldn't see the damn thing. But yeah, so that's working really good. Checked all of that. It works. Cleaned up. Just waiting for those lights, the 2 lights to come in tomorrow, and then I'll have a working photo booth. The fluorescent lights that I was using in that, I actually put in the laundry area, so I could have light in there. So even if I wanted to go back to the fluorescent, I really couldn't because I don't have the fixtures for it anymore. So figured I'd better off going with the LEDs. Little bit better quality light at that point too. So that's kind of what we did yesterday. Excuse me. Let's see here now. Let's see. We got Apex Nerd. What's going on, buddy? We've got Pete Almanax. Greetings, legends. Hello, Pete. How are you? Geo says, hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a good weekend. He says, I did. The inky disappointed part was Real Grade V inner frame. I posted pics on the community. The inner frame is pretty to look at. But he says the same thing happened with the real grade Shin Matsunaga inner frame. The inner frame of the V, it turns soft. Yeah. So Gio, what? Because I replied back to you on that. What what's your process there, buddy? Like what exactly do you use in terms of primer and paint? And then do you have like a pre-priming process at all? Do you like soak it in alcohol or anything like that? Like explain your process to us and then maybe we can try and figure out what the deal is with that, because that's really really weird. I don't know what's up with that. Um so yeah, dude, let us know, because it's a bit odd. I'll be honest with you, it's a bit odd for it to turn soft like that, you know. So yeah, huh. Almanac says game plan: wake up, clean up, eat, be awesome, eat, sleep, repeat. Hell yeah, hell yeah. He says I prefer the adjustability of a photo table. Yeah, yeah, me too. Mainly, and honestly, I would prefer that. Just space, unfortunately, is at a premium. And plus, I get really good photos out of the photo booth because I have photo paper in the back that I drape down, and it curves down into a really nice look and everything there. So yeah, it works pretty well. Works pretty well. Sonic Clean Parts, Gaia Black Surfacer. Okay. Gaia Black Surfacer, metallic paint, top coat needed. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's the Gaia, you know? Have you tried a different surfacer than that? Because I don't know. Maybe the Gaia is just not reacting great to that particular plastic. I don't know. Pete says, explain yourself, right? Exactly. Um, but yeah, just the fact that it just the fact that the inner frame has become soft. It's weird. Um, so I don't know if the guy is having an interaction with it or not. You know what I mean? Um, so that's what I would maybe say. Um, yeah, that's really weird, dude. That's really, really weird. Huh. I don't know. I don't know. He says, no, I can only get Gaia Black Surfacer. um, so what I would probably then do is maybe, so you can only get Gaia Black Surfacer. So you can't get like Mr. Surfacer or Tamiya Fine L, something like that. I'd imagine one of the hobby shops has, something at that point. And then, you could always spray on, like a gloss black, just paint on that. You know what I mean? Because it almost sounds like the black surfacer may be a little too hot for that, for the real grade plastic inner frame. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing at this point, mind you. I'm just, shooting in the dark. But I'm just trying to brainstorm what that could be. You know what I mean? Because it's just weird. Any other recommendations for black surfacer? I mean, the Mr. Surfacer Black 1500 is beautiful. It's not gloss, but it works really well. But yeah, I mean, you can't go. Obviously, you can't go wrong with Mr. Surfacer, because you gotta figure Mr. Hobby and Bandai have been kind of in bed together for decades at this point. So, they formulate their stuff, toward Bandai plastic and everything. So, yeah, I mean, what I would probably say is get just, if you can, get you some, Mr. Surfacer. 1,000, 1,500, something like that. And then some gloss, just some standard gloss black paint, like, Mr. Color or something like that. Shoot it, see what happens at that point. And, I would probably shoot it on a piece of runner or something first just to test it out. Or, if the runners have spare parts or something like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's really, really weird why the parts would become soft like that if it wasn't for... Hang on. That'll wake you up in the morning. But yeah, it seems very, very odd. I don't think it's anything that you're doing, mind you. Yeah. I'm not sure. He says, I used the same process for the perfect grade Exia, and the inner frame turned gooey. The outer armor of the perfect grade Exia came out pristine. That's another project I shelved. Huh. Now, mind you, I don't fuck with real grades. They're just not my thing. And I've never built the perfect grade Exia either, so I'm not aware of the type of plastic that it is. But I'm almost wondering if it's not the same plastic as the inner frame of this, of the Hyaku Shiki. You know what I mean? This like soft kind of shit plastic that they have been introducing to, the line and everything. I don't know. Our Deebs is with us. What's going on, buddy? He says Vallejo has a gloss black primer. If gloss black is what you want, also ammo MiG one shot. That's a good call there too. Thank you, Deebs. Appreciate you, buddy. Hey, look at this. Julius, he says, hey everyone. Just landed at LAX, heading to SFO soon. See you all again soon. Nice. Nice. Well, welcome back, Julius. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Get some rest, man, because I can only imagine the jet lag on that. So, yeah. Rest up, buddy, okay? We'll be here. So, Ardeep says it might be that the inner frame is ABS. ABS is really sensitive to paints with solvents. Yeah, that's true. Gio says, I got 3 bottles of Gaia Surfacer delivered about 2 months ago. Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, I mean, the only thing that I can think of is at this point is it's got to be the Surfacer. Gaia, from what I understand, I've never really used Gaia too much myself, so this is kind of, take this with a grain of salt, but it's a bit hotter in terms of the solvent inside of it than some of the other brands. So, yeah, I would give Mr. Surfacer a shot and see what that does. And test it on some of the runner first, especially the runners that have the flags on it. These parts, right? These are the flags, right, with the runner number and all that, and the model number and everything. Cut off a piece of that and spray that with your primers and everything, and see how that reacts. Or if you have, like I said before, if you have like extra parts, parts that aren't needed with the model, maybe try shooting it on there. Maybe try shooting it on there. That's weird. So weird. Hey, Brandon's with us. He says, morning, everyone. Welcome back, buddy. Brandon, is everything good with the family and all that? So, I know you had a bunch on your plate last week, so just worried about you, bud. So, He says, Bry Guy won the 0 parts given mystery box for participating in week 1's homework. Tried to record it, and my video file went corrupt. Oh, man. That sucks, dude. He says, all good now. Weekend was the last of the crazy. Okay. Well, like I said, dude, family and those priorities, those all come first. So just, be aware of that. And, just want the best for you, man. That's all. Just want the best for you. So, yeah, appreciate you asking. Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely and always. So, all right, you guys, I want to show you something here real quick, because I was kind of digging in the crates yesterday, working on the photo booth, and I found some interesting artifacts from in the boxes that I went through yesterday. Let's go camera 2. And so anybody remember these? These are, these were trading cards that Bandai had back in, 2018, 19, 20. But yeah, so basically they were just trading cards of the box art, and it had, information on the model on the back, and obviously I still have these in the wrapper. I never took them out, but yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of these when I went to Japan in 2019. You got your Crossbone, your Ground Gundam, Gun Tank. There's the full burner, 00. Your Master Grade Char's Gelgoog, Unicorn, the Banshee. There's a good one, GM Sniper 2. Yeah. And you can kind of see that it's got some like metallic, kind of iridescent film to it as well, which is really nice. What is that? The Strike Freedom. Nice. What's that one? That's the Justice. I can't read it. Destiny. Oh, there's the Nemo. Nice. Mr. Sandrock. Ooh, the Turn X. Yeah, Turn X. Lovely stuff. F91. What do we got? Tall Geese. Looking good there. Turn A, as opposed to the Turn X. Ooh, the Shinmusha. That's lovely box art. And then, the full armor Gundam. So we got all those, and then I was sent. I remember my absolute favorite, obviously. The Jesta. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, like I said before, these are, just little trading cards, and they have the information about the kit and mobile suit on the back. Obviously all in Japanese, so I don't understand a damn thing of it, but yeah, it's just, they were really, really cool, and I bought a bunch of them when I went to GBWC back in 2019, and I lost track of them, obviously, put them in a box and stuff, and I don't even know if they make these anymore. Does anybody know if these are still a thing? Because it's just, yeah, I don't know. I found these and I thought they were really, really freaking cool. Obviously, because look, they got all the information, little model shots and everything. I think, they're just nice little, I don't know, little trading cards, and nice rounded corners and everything like that. So, you don't got to worry about, getting the corners fuzzy and everything. And yeah, just really, really cool. Really cool. So, yeah. Let's see. Julie says, wow, for some reason I thought this was a nighttime stream, thinking it was 9:30. I must be tired. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I think so, Jay. I think so. Buddy, yeah, go home and get some rest, man. We'll be here. Take a day. Take 2 days. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's Monday morning. for most. So, that jet lag, man. That jet lag will kill you. That jet lag will kill you. All right, kids. So let's jump into it. Let's show you kind of what I got done over the weekend. Got some work done there, and then also got some work done on one of the arms here as well. So we're gonna go super zoom in just a second here. Let me find my little pointer first, so I have that, so I'm not fumbling for it. Let's go. Let's get caught up here real quick. Hey, Mr. RF Aurora. Andrew, what's going on, buddy? He says, yo. Brandon says, right there with you, Julius. Exhausted and don't know what's up from down right now. Dude, right? Let's see. Andrew says, how are you doing with the Rizel build, Tim? Not great. Did a little bit of work on it, but just haven't had time really to work on it. So yeah, that'll have to wait until kind of for the free time eases up a little bit. Pete says Gundam card game apparently a thing. Oh yeah, it's a big thing now. That Gundam card game thing. I was never into the card games, Magic, Pokemon, any of that. So yeah, it's not my deal, but a few people definitely are. Friend of the stream, Mr. Frankie RG on Instagram. He's into it. He's really into it. He's got the decks and everything, and goes to meets and competitions and stuff like that. And he's deep into it. So yeah, but yeah, it's just not my thing. So anyway, let's go super zoom. Alrighty then. So let's kind of bring you up to speed with what we got here. So started working on the knee last week. Kind of got the design finalized and everything, but I actually put that into practice here, and this is looking really, really quite nice. So first things first, filled in all of the voids and everything, plated over this one here, and then this one I just filled in with some 2mm by 1mm plastic strip. That's just super glued, sanded down smooth. It's just filler. It's not raised or anything like that. It's, flush with the surface. And then got some really, nice nice panel lines here. We got the side lines coming in around to the front there, and let's see, that's a pretty good shot. You can kind of see the tapered box scribe right in here. Got a nice bisecting line here. I think that's like a 0.3 if I'm not mistaken, right down the center. So that looks really, really nice, and then scribed in this nice beefy notch up here on the knee, and beveled the knee part and everything there. So that is looking really, really, really good there. So that's kind of what we did on the knee. We'll get started on that here in a moment, but then I also wanted to show you a little bit about the arm and kind of what I got done here as well. So we'll just go from top to bottom, or bottom to top, I guess I should say. So started with the hand, right? Got some scribing done on that, around this kind of raised knuckle there, and then it's got a little gun in there, drilled that barrel out, and there was already a pre-molded notch there. Just kind of notched that out a little bit more. So outline scribed this raised kind of knuckle piece for that. You can see the raising there, and also put in a little notch there. Got this nice little panel line running, across the edge, notches there. this part back here, this notch here was already pre-molded. Went ahead and deepened that, and then cut a little bit off the back, so that is lowered there as well. So that's looking nice, and then a nice little round, flat round detail there. And then around to the side, just outline scribed the kind of protruded thumb piece there too. So, and then on the cuff here, actually placed a little circular mold in there on that piece of plastic that was protruding. It was basically just blank. It was really nothing there. So put a little nice 1.5 millimeter mold there, so that's looking good. And then around the cuff, we've got just a simple one liner there, and then couple of parallel notches here, and then a nice long one there, as you can see, nice parallel notch. And then let's see, moving up the arm here, some nice stuff here on the forearm armor, right? So we've got kind of your outline scribe here. That's about 2 millimeters up on the armor there, and got some nice little 45 trapezoidal breaks there and there. Kind of same thing with that. Just pretty simple stuff. I didn't want to go too crazy. And then nice chunky bisection there. I believe that's a 1 millimeter, and then you can see kind of took a little bit out of each end there. So that's looking good. And then still work in progress on the tricep armor there. Just a wrapped around line there. Haven't done anything to the front. And then these side pieces here, just put on some little plastic sheet there just to raise those a bit. So that looks pretty nice, outline scribed and everything there too. So simple, tasteful, looking good, right? So that's the arm. But we're going to start with the other knee portion here. One thing that I did on this one that I haven't done yet on this one is I filled in all of the pre-molded notches. On this, there's 3 of them. There's one right there, one down here at the right in the middle, and then one right up here at the top. And there you go. You can kind of see it. There it is. Little highlight there. That little guy. Haven't filled those in just yet, but went ahead and did my due diligence on this piece and filled those in on both sides. Those are looking good. Those are ready to work. So we'll start with that here in just a second. Let's get caught up here real quick on the chat first. Let's see. Julia says my connection flight just got delayed 1 hour. I'll probably fall asleep on the plane for the short 1 hour flight. I'm sure I'll be okay after that. Oh man, buddy, take care of yourself, man. Oh, sleeping on a plane, man. There's nothing better than that. I swear. For me, it's very easy to fall asleep on the plane, but again, I pretty much fall asleep almost anywhere. Renee's not so lucky. She does not sleep. She can't sleep in a car. She can't sleep on a plane. It's rough for her. So yeah, but man, falling asleep on a plane, oh, it's good stuff. Let's see. RF Aurora says, I'm still not sure if I'll be participating in Zero Parts Given, but I was going through my collection of Gundam weapons and came across the modular rifle from the GM Kai Space Type. Yeah, I saw that that post that you put on the Mecha Army Facebook page there, Andrew. I love that rifle that came with the GMC. Just that modular thing, especially with the longer barrel. Oh man, it looks so good. Looks so freaking good. So yeah, work with that, man. It'll look nice. It'll look nice. Um, Brandon says flight delays are the worst. Safe travels, Julius. Yeah, definitely. Andrew says, think I might modify the bullpup machine gun from the GM Sniper 2 into a newer version of the heavy rifle variant off the modular rifle. Nice. Nice. That's pretty cool. Brandon says, no pressure to participate, Andrew. Just something fun to do on the side. Hell yeah. Let's see. Julia says, thanks, Brandon. Get some rest. Yeah, dude, you too, buddy. You too. Julia says, oh, look, new type has Mr. Color Surfacer. I just ordered 4 bottles of Mr. Color Black Surfacer from A to Z Hobbies. They will be here Friday. There you go. There you go. Almanacs, Mr. Pete, he says, not able to sleep on a plane. Well, there goes that trip to Japan, right? You know, she wants to go. She definitely wants to go. Her and Amber both, you know, are kind of itching to go back to Japan. So, and honestly, same here. I'm ready to go back myself. But yeah, it's her inability to sleep on a plane is pretty rough on her. Let me grab a drink here, you guys. There we go. Wet my whistle. Anywho, but yeah, I mean, even like on long car trips and stuff like that, she can't fall asleep. I don't know why. She just can't do it. Me, dude, I will fall asleep at anything. She took me a few years ago to see well, Disturbed was the headliner, but you know, I liked some of the, you know, the kind of the starting acts and stuff like that. But when Disturbed came on, dude, I literally fell asleep at a concert with lights shining in my eyes and you know, people screaming and the music and everything. But I literally fell asleep during, you know, one of their heavier songs. So, and mind you, I'm, you know, not a huge fan of Disturbed or anything like that, but yeah, it just goes to show you I can pretty much fall asleep anywhere. So, but yeah, it's kind of rough for her. So, I feel bad. All right, you kids. So, we're going to start with this guy here. Let's get the other knee so we have a reference and comparison for measuring and all that good stuff. So first and foremost, we're going to start with the tapered box scribe here, and it just follows the lines. Very, very simple stuff. Just use some scribing jigs for this. I think that was, what, 2 mil? That 2 mil is usually my go-to for things like this, just because it's a nice, it's not, obviously it's not as thin as 1 millimeter, but it's just a nice, you know, length to offset lines and stuff, in my opinion. So that's kind of why I gravitate to, you know, a 2 mil line at that point. So, all right, yep, that's 2 millimeters from the edge, just tapers down along with the shape of the knee. So just like that, real simple stuff. Let's get a measurement in terms of length from the edge here, and that is 11 millimeters. Okay, cool. So what we'll do first is just pencil in the lines. Oh, god damn it. Why can I never be on camera correctly here? Son of a bitch. Scuffles was watching, he'd give me some shit right now, I swear to God. Alright, so got our line marked there. Let's do the same thing on this side. Just like that. Alright, so now measure down 11 millimeters. There we go. Alright, So right about there-ish. A little lower than that. What? Let me just double check. Measure 4 times, cut once, right? Yeah, that needs to be a little bit lower. So probably right about there. Yeah, bingo. All right, cool. All right, so that's easy stuff right there. That's easy stuff. So, one thing that we're going to do before we get into that, so we don't mess up the lines and have to refill and all that, we're going to get this guy, this little molded in hole there, we're going to get that filled first. So now, since this is rounded, we need to take the corners down a little bit. So I'm just using my 1mm chisel here to do that. Okay, because these corners in this are a bit rounded, and yeah, the 2x1mm strip will fit perfectly in this, but we just need to square off the corners so it can fit properly. There we go. All right, perfect. All right, so 2x1, 2x1, 2x1 is, I don't think that's it. There it is. 2x1. Bingo. I have my myriad of strip and things that I've used over here for this build. Yep, there she is. Okie dokie. So, just a little bit right there. And get some super glue for this. All right, so we're gonna speed things up here. Little kicker on both sides. We're gonna let that pop off here for a second or two while we get caught up with the chat here. Let's see. Gio says, couple of more comments, then I'll shut up. Oh man, Gio, don't feel like that, buddy. Don't feel like that. You know, we want to help you. You know what I mean? So, nah, talk and ask as much questions as you want to. So, but he says, I once used Mr. Color's Surfacer Gray. It came out watery. When I get the black Surfacer, that's the best. What's the best thinning ratio? So like I said, always, let me see. Do I have any mixed up already? I don't think that I do. Let me check. Hang on. One second here. I mean, I do have some finishing surfacer, but I don't believe that it's, I don't think it's thinned yet or not. So let's see. Let me get all this stuff out of the way. So here, Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 black, right? Nice big jar, all that good stuff here. And, freaking seal. Get that popped back onto the inner cap. Let's see if it took it with it. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. So I mean, basically, this is black paint, you know, with primer additives to it, right? It's decently thick at this point. And what I always do is thin it down to kind of a milky consistency, and that's really my baseline for all, you know, you know, thinning and everything, with paint, with primer, everything, a milky consistency. Once you get that, and you know, just eyeball it. But once you get to that point, then you know she should be ready to spray at that juncture. So yeah, that's what I would go with. Yeah, he says I like to prep my surfacers in big bottles. Same, yeah, same. It's what's funny is that what I'll do with like Mr. One, I use 1000. I usually don't use the finishing surfacer. This is something that I bought back in the day, and I think for this bottle, I actually think I inherited this bottle from the guy that, you know, I bought all the tools and everything off of. Yeah, I don't use this hardly ever. If I'm being honest, I use the 1000. And usually what I can do is I thin this down to about 1 to 3. So I get about 3 bottles of this out of 1 after thinning. Now the Mr. Surfacer 1000, if I remember correctly, is probably a bit thicker than that. Let me see. Here's a bottle of that. Let's compare and contrast here real quick, right? So there you go, your good old Mr. Surfacer 1000. This is my go-to. This is my primer of choice here. And let's see. Yeah, I would say it's maybe this is a little thicker than the black, but just barely. But yeah, it's very, very soupy, as you can see. That's not the thickness of milk just yet. That's like heavy whipping cream in there, if I'm being honest. It's baking time with Tim here, it seems. But yeah, dude, I would get it to the consistency of milk first, right? You know what? Let's do this just by looking at the kind of pre-comments here. Let's go back to camera 2, so we can get caught up here. So I know looks like we got some questions and things like that coming up here. Let's see. Mad Havoc, what's going on, dude? He says, hello all. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Thank you. You do. I hope you had the same, buddy. Hope you had a good weekend as well. Pete says, falling asleep at a metal concert? Tim has officially entered the senior citizen bracket. Time to start wearing khaki shorts. Yes. I'm wearing khaki shorts right fucking now, you big jerk. God damn it. God damn it. Son of a bitch. There's nothing wrong with khaki shorts. Christ. And white tennis white tennis socks with your sandals. Oh, that's okay. So that's one thing that I will not do. I don't do sandals, and especially socks and sandals. Crocs? No, man. I usually wear boots, and not like cowboy boots, but like boots during the winter, or some sort of runner, or CrossFit or something like that, or cross trainer, cross trainer, something like that during the summer. Like I got like my old school cross trainer Nikes here. Love these things. These are so old and raggedy. These are basically like my house shoes. These are just the ones that I put on and I'm just like comfortable in around the house. You know, I got the, you know, the nice elastic laces in these things so I can just slip them on. Oh, they're fucking heaven. I love these things. But man, there's nothing wrong with khaki shorts. There's nothing wrong with khaki shorts. Get off my lawn, you fuckers. As long as they're not cargo shorts, and these are not cargo shorts. These are just, you know, your straight kind of just nice shorts. Ay, ay, ay. He says, plus tightening your belt over your stomach is now mandatory. No, son. No. No, 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 no. I'm not, you're not going to catch me doing that shit. Nope. Let's see. Andrew says, I'm going to the Gundam base this week. Just have to convince my parents to let me drive to Rosemont after my dad's endoscopy, since I'm the driver. Oh yeah, I mean, take a bit of time. You'll be fine. Just tell them you got an errand to run. You know what I mean? You got an errand to run. Hell yeah. Let's see. Andrew says, if not, I'll go by myself. See, there you go. There you go. Let's see. Rundus, what's going on, buddy? He says, I got some Surfacer 1200 the other day. I think it's a good middle ground. Yeah. Do I have 1200? Let me see. Let's go on another field trip here. Whee! Let's see. Oh, yeah, I do. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so, again, this is probably an inherited, you know, type of thing that, you know, I got from the guy that I bought the tools and some kits and everything off of. But, yeah, I haven't messed with 1200. Like I said, 1000 is usually my go-to, but yeah, same type of consistency. So, yeah, I think maybe maybe I'll try it out with this build, the 1200 here, because I have a few bottles of this now. So, wow. Look at that. $5.99 for a bottle of Mr. Surfacer. Whew, how old is that? Right? How old is that? Ay, ay, ay. Man, oh man. Yeah. Let's see. Geo says, shit, I didn't know they made 1,000. Oh, yeah. So, actually, they make 500, too. Let's see if I have 500. I don't know if I have any 500. I might. Let's see what I have and what I don't. No. All right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I have any more 500. I might have. I don't know what happened to mine. I had some, but I don't know. Huh. Maybe I used it? I have no idea. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's... I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, so they make 500, 1,000, 1,200, and 1,500. Yeah. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Highly recommended. Like I said, 1,000 is my absolute go-to for pretty much every single build. But then again, you have to think that I always finish it, finish my models, in like a flat semi-gloss type of finish. So, I'm not worried about it being completely smooth and blah, blah, blah. I want that gritty look to my end models. Now obviously with the Shiki, that's a bit of a different take. I may try some different things. Obviously I'm going to test it before I apply it to the actual parts and everything, but yeah, I may try something a little bit different with this guy, so we'll have to kind of wait and see for that. Jump that hurdle when we get there, right? So, let's see. Andrew, he has a question.
We have a question.
He says, is there a tool for cutting small flat circles into plastic without leaving a divot like a drill bit would? Yeah. You know what? Actually, I did that on not this one, but I did that on the Shiki's hand. You can see right there on the corner, that's just a nice flat little circular detail there, right? Let's get a test piece. Let's see. Here we go. This will work. This will work. This, I don't know. Oh, this is from the Perfect Grade. I just cut this off of one of the pieces here, right? So you've got your God Hand deals here in two different types, right? So this is the OG spin chisel from God Hand, right? Just a chisel, that is, that you spin around and you create a flat circle. Comes in 1 mil, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. But then God Hand made these, right? Now, these are a bit different, and I don't know if you can see it very well on camera, but the actual blade itself has this little barb right there in the middle. So that helps to keep this centered, because if you were trying to just go in on a piece of plastic with these, it went all over the place. So that's why they came out with these updated ones with the little barb on it. It helps to center, the piece. Now let me show you here real quick. We're gonna go with a 2 millimeter because that's a nice decent size. Let me show you the difference here real quick, Andrew, because these are really, really good. There are other options as well. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Some of the companies make these photo etch types of deals, and these just go in a like an X-Acto handle, and these serve kind of the same purpose, but again, these have the little barbs on them, so you have to start with like a 1 millimeter hole, something like that, 0.5 millimeter, so that they ride in, so they're not going to be completely flat. They'll have that little divot in the middle. But if you want just a bare, completely flat hole, your God Hand is going to be the better option at this point. So let me kind of just quickly show you kind of what to expect here. This is the one with the barb on it, and I'll show you kind of what this looks like here in a moment. So there you go. See, it has that little hole there, and it's not big. It's not big, right? And you could probably fill that with a little bit of primer, before your full priming job, and it leaves a really, really nice looking piece. Now, with something like these, you're going to want to pre-drill, because like I said, these have a tendency to go all over the place if you're not, already like pre-drilled or something like that. So with that, you're going to need to grab a 2 millimeter drill bit. Actually, I already have, what do I have here? Another thing that I inherited. Oh, no, that's not big enough. Son of a bitch. Okay. Do I have... Yeah, no. Okay, cool. So we're going to have to get our drill index here and actually get a 2 millimeter. Let's see. 2 mil. I got my little cheat sheet here. So 2 millimeter, 47. Number 47 is our winner. Number 47 is our 2 millimeter drill bit. Here we go. All right. So got that guy there. And Yep, good. Okay, so for something like this, what I would do is to punch a little pilot hole right there. Just make a little indentation right there with my little scriber there, and then that way your drill bit has something to register to, right? And with this, you don't want to go obviously you don't want to go too deep, right? You just want to get the hole started. A little bit more. All right, I think that is good. And then get your 2mm spinny chisel out of here. And these are super sharp, so you got to be very careful with these. These are literally razor sharp, and I have cut myself before on these things, and that is not fun. So you have your pilot hole basically drilled there, and then it just is able to ride in that pilot hole, and basically what it does is just flattens the bottom. There we go. So they're quick and dirty. Now, obviously, this one, you're probably going to have to go a little deeper than this one. This one can get, you can go pretty shallow with that, but that is basically the differences between those two, right? So, mind you, if I had to choose, I'd definitely go with the one with the barbs, because they're just so much more convenient, and you can fill in that little hole that they leave. There's the product number, GHCSB-1-3. That's what these guys are. The little spinny chisels with the barbs on it. So yeah, these are really, really good. These are really, really good. So I wish I had these when I bought these. I wish they made these. These are okay. These are on a different level. These are great. So yeah, if you had to pick one, go with these. Yeah, they're really, really good. Now, mind you, they create just flat, straight, holes. These, on the other hand, if you take a look at their shape, these are tapered. So these actually make a beveled type of hole. So if you need something like that, these are really, really good too. Where's the frickin' open? There it is. There it is. So I already have the 2mm punched out on this one. Let me show you kind of that here in comparison to these other guys here. Bear with me one second while I get this put away. Got the 2.6 here. And obviously, they come in, all sorts of different sizes. I mean, from, look at that, 1.4 all the way up to 3mm, right? And so that can fit a various number of things. Where did that go? Yeah, there it is right there. And let's see, will this fit in here, and will it clamp down? Yeah, okay. So that actually fits in the pin vise here too. So let me kind of show you. Real quick what this looks like. It takes a few seconds for this to get going because this is just photo etch. This isn't a, you know, obviously a blade or anything like that. There we go. But once it gets going, it does a pretty decent job. But yeah, you're going to need a bigger pilot hole. And it's going to leave a bigger ending hole in the middle, right? So for something like this, this would be really useful for inserting option parts too. Because it has the bevel and, you know, there's a separation around the part and all that. So if you're inserting like a minus mold or, you know, round mold, something like that, this is really, really good for that. But there, you can kind of see it. You need to go a little deeper on that one. But a much, much more pronounced middle pilot hole there for that middle one, right? With these photo etched deals, and you know they create a lot of dust on them. So yeah, so you can kind of see the profile there. It's, you know, it's pretty decent. It has its uses, right? It has its uses. I don't use these too much unless I want to recess and have a beveled part to you know, to it, a beveled component to the detail that I'm making. But yeah, I don't use those too much if I'm being honest. But yeah, so there's the three comparisons. So good question. Always like to talk tools if I'm being honest. So good stuff. Let's see. Michael Dawson says, I prefer to use spray can for my primers, just personal preference. Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't really prefer to mix, you know, their primers and stuff like that. It's a preference. So yeah, nothing wrong with that. Gio says, didn't know they make 1000 in black. They do. That's a newer version, if I'm not mistaken, because I know years ago when I first bought the black primer, they did not carry that in 1000, or else I would have gotten it in 1000. But yeah, that's kind of the newer kid on the block in terms of their surfacer line, from what I understand. So, let's see. Mike says, have you tried reversing the drill bit a few times? That's what I do. Yeah, it works. Gio says AARP will be in contact soon with Tim. Man, Gio. Mike says, haha, he's old. Man, you guys shut the fuck up. My God. Wow, Brandon's piling on now too, right? Some white New Balance dad shoes. Oh no, it's got to be the Nike Monarchs, right? Those are straight up dad shoes. The Nike Monarchs. Ay. In white and navy blue only, sir. Thank you. Please come again. Matt Havoc's, he says Crocs, yuck, right? Yeah. Bleh. Hey, Feel Good is over there on Twitch. He has a question.
We have a question.
Yes, sir. He says, why do you prefer 1000 to 1200 and 1500? I also use 1000 mainly due to availability. Yeah, like I said before, the 1000 has slightly more grit to it. You know, thus the number levels, right? The higher you go, the smoother that it is. I like 1000 for, you know, my paint jobs because I usually finish everything in kind of like either a flat or like almost semi-gloss. What I do is I actually use semi-gloss as my final top coat, and I spray a little farther away. That way it atomizes and starts to cure in air and then hits the model, and it leaves a really, really nice, you know, flat, but almost has a sheen to it, right? And that's actually a trick that I learned from some of the armor modelers. Simply because if you were to shoot, if you shoot matte or flat right up against the piece, then it doesn't give that sheen from a distance, right? Which in the real world, something like a tank or a plane or a boat, if you are far enough away, it still has somewhat of a sheen. It still has reflectivity, even at a flat, completely flat paint job. It's just inherent to surfaces. It bounces light. But with a scale model, that's shrunk down, and so that it plays tricks on you, right? It plays tricks on your eyes. So when you use like a semi-gloss, but you hold it back a little bit, it gives that really nice flat look, but it also has a bit of a sheen at different angles too. And it really, really creates a nice look, in my opinion. So it's very subtle, don't get me wrong, it's very, very subtle. But once you kind of notice it, your eye tends to, compute that is what is expected in the real world. So again, that's the one thing. It goes to the illusion of scale that I always talk about. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I use 1000 and go to use like a semi-gloss as my final top coat. So yeah. Let's see. Andrew says khaki shorts are about all I wear in the summer, and I'm younger than Tim. Yeah, can't find comfy jean shorts without paying an arm and a leg. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like different golfing shorts. Not your hoity-toity things, but like, your looser fit, longer, kind of golf shorts. Just, maybe just above the knee a little bit. Nothing longer than that, because then it just looks sloppy. But, yeah, I mean, they're just light and airy, and, just a t-shirt hanging out over top. It's a good look. It's a good look for me. I like it. It's comfortable, right? So, yeah. Mad Havoc says, agreed. Brandon says, don't be disrespecting Crocs. They are the ultimate dad shoe for family trips. Super comfortable and like a slipper. No, sir. You would never catch me dead in a pair of Crocs. My goodness. Brandon says, ugly but comfy, right? Mad Havoc says, I have 2 pairs of military cargo shorts. I find them comfy. Yeah, I mean, whatever works. And if you utilize the pockets in them, then yeah, go for it. Go for it. Mikey says, but cargo shorts are for the youngsters. Haha. Andrew says, hey, don't diss the cargo shorts. The pockets come in handy so I don't drive my inhaler into my hip when I'm in the car. That's fair. That's a fair statement. Brandon says, or if you use small brass or steel tube, sand the edge down to be sharp, and light pressure with a hammer will give you a good circle cut with no middle divot. That's true. Yeah, that's decent. You just got to be real careful with that. Real careful. Says, cool, thank you, Brandon. Let's see. Brandon says, I carry about 4 pounds of stuff on my daily and still don't wear cargo shorts. Hey. Feel good over there on Twitch. He says, I believe 1000 and 1500 all have the same consistency, but pigment particle size differs. Exactly. Like I said before, the higher you go, the smoother it gets. And, like I said, they even have like a 500 Mr. Surfacer, but that is, man, that's bordering on putty, if I'm being honest. It's very thick. And you can use that really nicely for like surface imperfections and things. And like I was showing Andrew earlier with these, with the God hand spinny chisel things with that little divot, with that little barb in there, you could use Mr. Surfacer 500 probably to fill that little hole nice and flat, and you'll probably never see it, and then spray over that with a a little bit of a finer surface. It's really, really good for that type of thing. So yeah. Let's see. Andrew says, last time I got my Alclide primer, I paid $9 a bottle. Yeah, see? Yeah. Matt Havoc says, Tim, I got my headset and I love it because it has a head mount rechargeable light on it. Nice, dude. Nice. Yeah, they back when I got mine, they had that, and I was just like, do I need that? And I was just like, yeah, nah. I mean, and now I have enough light, as you guys can see, that freaking blinds a person. So that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I can't build without mine. It's so great, and I'll find myself even like when I'm down here, like and it's force of habit too. When I'm down here and I don't have it on, I'll do this. I'll do this thing, basically to flip the visor down, and it's just a reflex now, and that's kind of how it goes to show you how much of a part this is for my workflow. It whenever I sit down here, these always come on my head, and it's a reflex. It's so weird. I've caught myself doing that more than a few times. Let's see. Michael Dawson says to Andrew, ignore what I said. I'm freaking tired from working all weekend. I'm not 100% yet. Aw, Mikey, poor guy. Runda says, oh man, I picked up a couple bottles of Alclad Chrome for the first time. I also got a bottle of Gloss Black Base, but heard that stuff isn't good. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. I know Geo's had a bit of a challenge with the black primer from Gaia, so I'm not sure about Alclad. So, man, yeah, hopefully not. Brandon says, ignore what I said. I thought you meant for getting small, tiny circles out of your styrene or something. Oh, yeah. Andrew says, used Alclad Chrome and the Gloss Black Base. Don't care for them as I've had bad experiences. I get mixed results on the primers. Yeah, it's all hit and miss, man. It's all hit and miss. Runda says, yeah, I've heard it's pretty tricky to use. Yeah. Andrew says, thank you, Tim. I know what my next tool will be. Hey, there you go. Lelouch, what's going on, buddy? Afternoon, everyone. Just dropping by. Good. Brian, Brandon did. Who won who won the 0 parts given? Was it Brian? I think it was. Let me see. Going to the community. Let's see. Sort by newest, because YouTube can't sort for shit. Oh, I guess Brandon didn't make an announcement. Yeah. Yeah, Brian won. Okay, cool. Yeah. So there you go. Hey, what, me? Nice. Pete says, we're going to need a bigger boat, right? Brandon, he says, I've used a sewing needle in a pin vise to put a single tiny drop of CA glue into the tiny center hole of the spin blades. Yeah, dude. And that's... Oh, look at that. That's my, that's my super glue, super accurate application tool. Same thing. Same exact thing. Let's see. Mikey says, I don't have these tools. If I need to make a hole like those, I just drill right through the glue, a thin piece of plastic sheet underneath. Yeah, I mean, that definitely creates the same thing. It's obviously deeper, so if you want something a little bit more shallow, then yeah, the spinny drill bit thingies definitely work. Brandon says that works sometimes unless you want it to be very shallow. Bingo. Yeah, only downside. Womp womp. Let's see, Almanacs. They are comfortable. Does not equal it looks good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Brandon says, I'm married with 3 kids. I'm not trying to impress anyone anymore. Comfort over looks 9 times out of 10. Oh man, that's funny. Runders says, also sorry if it's not question time. Oh, it's always question time, dude. It's always question time. He has a question.
We have a question.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Is it possible to wet sand a water-based top coat like Mr. Premium top coat, or is this an obviously bad idea? Yeah. I mean, as long as it's cured, yes, you should be able to do that. And mind you, I've never tried the Mr. Top Coat. But yeah, I mean, as long as it's completely cured, you should be able to wet sand that with no problem. I don't believe it should reactivate at that point, simply because the carrier is now, completely gone, and that is now, what's left, the acrylic. Top coat is now cured fully. So I would say leave it for probably a few days just to let everything, properly cook and cure. And then after that, yeah, go after it. And, you could probably, go and do wet sanding. I would test it, obviously, with anything new. Test it first. But then, yeah, you should be able to go after it. Yeah. Matt Havoc says it makes a big difference with details. Yes, it does. The visor, yes, it does. My God, you can see everything at that point, right? Gio says, all clad glossy. I always thin it a little bit with Mr. Color leveling thinner. There you go. Yeah, Bright Guy won. Woo! And he's like, wah, me? There you go. Feel good over on Twitch. He says, Alclad's Gloss Black is an enamel, by the way. Yeah, and they can't help themselves with the labeling. He says, despite them having lacquer in their name, right? What the fuck is up with that shit? Yeah, so you do have to be careful with that. That's a big one. And that's one of the reasons why I've kind of shied away from Alclad here for a while. Their metallic line is amazing. It's awesome. It's great. But the enamel that they insert into that line, and there's a few, fucks you up. It fucks you up. So, yeah, it fucks you up. RF Aurora, Mr. Andrew, he says, Alclad has a black primer that works great. The black base is meant to go over a primer base, and then the Alclad metallic go over the black base. But the problem I have is it adds too many layers. Yeah. Yeah. Brandon says, I commented on his post asking him how to contact him. There you go. So, Brian, there you go. There you go, buddy. Micah Dawson, gotta head out later, everyone. Mikey, take care of yourself, buddy. I know you've had a long weekend, but yeah, try to get some rest and all that here too. Yeah. Mikey's a busy guy. He just bought a new house and everything as well, so yeah, he needs to take a good pace. Take a good pace. Lelouch Brian says, I'll reply back. Brandon, first day off in a few days. Haven't checked nothing at the moment. There you go. No problem. Where are you located? And Brian says, North Carolina. Brian, where in North Carolina are you again? I forget. I know you had mentioned it, but I forget where. Let's see. Andrew says, also I've had a bad experience with Alclad Chrome because I thought I was working with a lacquer. There you go. When I tried to use a lacquer-based gloss clear, the chrome went flat and the undercoat came out. Yeah. Fucking sucks, dude. Fucking sucks. Runda says, oh yeah, you can't top coat chrome. Yeah. Brandon says, perfect. I'll get a hold of you this week and get your address, get it out to you ASAP. Nice. Andrew says, later all, need to get some lunch. Andrew, take care, buddy. Take care, man. Oh, word. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Concord, Kannapolis. Nice. Yeah, future neighbors. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah, we're going to stay right around that area. She loves Kannapolis. And Concord is, obviously super close, too. So that'll be cool, man. That'll be cool. Yeah, nice. Have a crew building already for when, I move down there. That's going to be cool, man. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Let's see. Mr. Hi Craig, what's going on, Colin? He says, what's up? Um, excellent, excellent. Almanac says, the best part of North Carolina, obviously, right? Nice. Brandon says, we might be putting our house up for sale if we can find something closer to my wife's work/kids' school. Try to get away from from a potential data center. Yeah, yeah. The county I lived in just put a like an emergency moratorium on data centers because there's this golf course owner who wants to put a fucking data center on his land, and everybody is completely opposed to it. So yeah, it's one of those universal things that everybody can come together on, I guess, right? And just be like, yeah, no data centers here, bud. Nope. NIMBY. Not in my backyard. Not in my backyard. All right, kids, let's go back to this now that it's already 1:30. Oy. Oy, oy, oy. Real quick, let's see. Geo says to add more more confusion to the Chrome debate. I have seen people top coat Chrome with 2K clears. I only used it once, the 2K clear, but having 4 kids at home, the fumes were pretty bad. Yeah, the 2K is extremely strong and durable, but you're fucked if you have to try and strip that because it will not come off. You'll destroy the plastic. So that's kind of why I never really got bought into the 2K thing. So yeah, I just I don't know. You make one little mistake and it's just yeah, you got to live with it. Let's see. Brandon says our elected officials are snakes here and continue to push it through even though we have thousands and thousands of people saying no. Yeah. And like I said, I think that's kind of the one universal topic that everyone can come together on, right? Which is hilarious. You know, data centers. No data centers, right? Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, all right. So this is good and cured. Let's clip that both inside and okay. Miscalculation there. Let's see. That's probably, yeah, that's not going to fit on the knee. All right, so I'm going to have to find a way. Let's see if we can chisel this. Just kind of cut this down with the chisel here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. We just got to whittle away at it basically here. There we go. We're getting it down to the plastic. All right. So let's see what it do, baby boo. A little bit more. Little bit more. Little bit more. Again, another wonderful use for chisels, right? Just getting in there and removing material where you normally can't get into, right? Because like you saw, I couldn't get in there with my my nippers to clip this plastic off, but man, the chisel can get right in there and make short work of this thing. All right. Let's see. Get the schmutz out of there. That's nicely filled in. Let's see how that sits now.
Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're in business. Now we're in business. Excellent. So yeah, quick work of that. Let's get this shaved down here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now, we are going to have to sand this down, so we're going to lose our pencil lines here. But that's not a big deal. That's, you know, worse things could happen. We could have a data center in our backyard. Alright. Causing major environmental damage. And also driving electric prices through the roof. So, yeah, not a great prospect. Not a great prospect. Alright, that's nice and smooth. That's looking good. Let's get the rest of this sanded down here, and that'll help us with our pencil marks here, too. And it'll help us with our pencil marks as well. There we go. Very, very nice. Alright, so... there's the 2 mil. Although there is a new innovation for data centers, and that's it's interesting. It's an interesting take on data centers. So I forget which company came up with the idea, but basically they are at-home data centers. So what it is like this box that sits outside your house. It's about the same size as an air conditioner, so it's not majorly intrusive, and it has, I think, like 16 GPUs in there doing all the processing and everything. You pay to run it, you pay for the water to cool it, and then you get a stipend in return of like $2,000 a month or something like that. And I was just like, that's not bad. That's not bad. And you know, it cuts down on a lot of the, huge environmental concerns and stuff. So they kind of, disperse rather than having a one major singular huge data center. It's an interesting idea. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but it's intriguing nonetheless. It's intriguing. So, all right, off to SOS. I go to figure out my car title since I bought it out of state. It's been a bitch. Ooh, yeah, those are never fun. I bought my first car out of state, and that was a chore. Why is it so difficult? I have no idea. Life Death, Mr. Dallas, what's going on, buddy? He says morning, y'all. Morning. Morning. A morning, sir. All right. Enough with the voices. Let's right there. All right. So this was what, 11? Yeah, 11 millimeters. 11 millimeters. So right there. And right about there. Let's make sure that mark is on the right spot. Bingo. Bingo, bingo, bingo. It's a bingo. All right. Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards. God, what a performance. What a performance as the villain Hans. Oh, so good. What a great actor. And then also in Django. Oh, man. Two absolutely wonderful performances. there. All right, nice little curly cues. Very good. Nice set edge. Spin it around, get the depth. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's do some comparison here. That, yeah, that's looking good. That's looking real good. All right, so now we need a little piece of Dymo to connect the two. Let's see what we have here. This little guy will serve. That little guy right there, that will serve. All right. All right, and then let's make sure 11 mil on the money. Make sure that's nice and straight. Yep, good deal. All right, so all right, good deal. Let's get that piece of tape off of there, get that thrown away. Let's get these connected in the corners. All right, here we are. Jolly freaking good. Sand the surface down again just to get rid of the raising and everything there. Where's the good sandpaper? Here we go. Here's the nice finer grit sandpaper. That was probably 600. This is probably more along the lines of 8 to 1,000 maybe. A bit finer. All right. Very good. Very, very good. So let's see if we can get, yeah. See, oh, yeah, see, there you go. A little closer. Bingo. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. So, next thing I want to do here is to get this plating done. Because that's also an important part of this thing, because we've got this, you know, giant opening down here, which is just ugly, in my opinion. I hate it. So we're going to get that done first. I think that was 4 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Got my
4mm strip here. Yep, that's the one. That's the one. All right, so I need to cut the end straight here real quick. So we're going to do that on a chopper. Boom. Boom. All right, so there is our way longer strip of 4mm than we need. Right there. All right, and let's see. How far up did we go on this guy? About 5mm up. A little over. All right, a little over. I'll call it a little over. And about there, I'd say. Actually, we can do this. We can grab one of our scribing jigs. And oh, that's 0.5, not 5.0. Let's see, where here it is. Our good old high Craig scribing jigs. Get them from Colin, you guys. They are so incredibly worth it. So incredibly worth it. That might be 5.5. Now that I properly measure it. It's 5.5. There we go. Keep that out just to be on the safe side. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, that's 5.5. Okay. All right. I just marked a little line here on the plastic, just, you know, hardly anything with the back of my knife, just to get a really, really nice, accurate line of where to glue this thing. And yeah, that'll look good. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so let's get this tweezered up here. We're gonna get our super glue. Get this guy going here. All right. Ooh. Bunch came out. Bunch came out. All right, that's probably going to be way more than what we need, but no going back now. You can't put it back in. All right. So placement, very, very crucial here. Okay. That looks good. All right. So now I'm going to bend that to curve it to the surface here, so it covers that gaping hole in the bottom of the knee. Alright, I think we did pretty good with the placement. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. All right, let's get the super glue cap. Let's get a little kicker in here to speed things up. Boom. Boom. There we go. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff, you guys. Good stuff. All right. Oh, man. All right. So real quick while we wait for this here, just for a few seconds. So one thing that I noticed yesterday, when I woke up, and I don't, you guys may experience this well. Good old imposter syndrome, right? Have you guys ever felt imposter syndrome before? It happens, I mean, it happens with everybody, but it happens, I find, with a lot more, creatives than in general. And it's just a bitch, man. It's a bitch when it gets its claws into you, you know? Yeah, Rundus. My entire life is imposter syndrome. Aw, man. But yeah, I mean, imposter syndrome is one of those things where, man, it gets a hold of you and it won't let go. You know what I mean? And it's basically, if you're not familiar, which I'm sure probably most of you are, it's basically that feeling, your brain is telling you that, you're not good enough at what you're doing, you're doing the wrong thing, you're a failure, you're basically an imposter at whatever endeavor that you're undertaking, right? And that's what I felt yesterday when I woke up. Like, I woke up out of the blue yesterday morning feeling like that. And I'll tell you what, dude, like, it got me. It had its claws sunk in bad. And yeah, I mean, I was just questioning, everything, what I was doing, with the stream and, all of that. And I was just like, man, am I on the right path here? Am I doing the right thing? Like, am I a failure at this? Like, all of that, right? And so yeah, struggled with that mightily yesterday. And, obviously, spoke with Renee and everything. And, she's awesome. She's incredibly, incredibly supportive of everything, that I'm doing here. And, super, comforting and everything. And she told me everything that, in my head, I already knew, right? That I'm good at this and, can do this and all of that, right? But man, your head, once it gets a notion, it will not let go for some reason, right? So, yeah, dude, struggled with that yesterday. Struggled big time. And then, kind of just thought about it, and it's just like, you know what? I saw this this post on Instagram the other day that kind of summed up the ending of it, of that feeling. It said basically, it said that you're not failing. You're at the part where most people give up, right? And man, that hit close to home. And I remembered that yesterday, and that kind of yanked me back, from feeling that way a little bit. And then, kind of came down here, was doing some laundry, just chores and stuff like that. And I looked over and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to rewire the photo booth. And I just said, fuck it, let's do it. And I did it. And man, you get that little win. And it's just, it's such a better feeling. And that kind of pulled me out of that hole that I was in yesterday. So, moral of the story, if you ever find yourself kind of feeling that, imposter syndrome, just get a little win. Just anything. Just something little. And it'll hopefully, yank you back into, reality. Because, yeah, I can do this. I feel like I'm on the right path. I have to improve on some things. There's no doubt about that. I have to improve on some things. But I feel like we're on the right path. I feel like we're on the right path. Oh shit, look at this guy. Mr. Justinius Builds. Look at that improper knife technique. Dude, get out of here with that. What's going on, Justin? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Improper knife technique, whatever. Almanacs, Mr. Petey says, but dude, you are a failure. A big glorious failure, but that is being human. Absolutely. Failures are not inherently bad. Oh, absolutely not. They're your best learning technique, right? They are simply the removal of lesser options on your pursuit towards perfection. Ooh. Ooh. That's really good. Pete, did you come up with that or did you read that somewhere? Because that's fucking deep, brother. That is fucking deep. I love that. Like, did you just like right off the dome? Did you freestyle that? I mean, because you dropped some bars, dude. You dropped some bars. That's good. Failures are simply the removal of the lesser option on your pursuit towards perfection. Damn. He says that is an Almanacs original. Nice. I dig it. I fucking dig it. Damn. Pete dropping some wisdom. I love that. Yeah. Now, mind you, perfection is good. Perfection is a goal. It is not attainable, but it is a goal. And one of the ladies that I follow on Instagram, she is a marketing person, and I follow a lot of marketing people. But one of her things is that if you aim for perfection but fail short of it, you're still in good shape. So I think Pete just said it way more eloquently than that. So good stuff, dude. Gio says that's why we're here, to support each other. We should push each other up, support each other, except wearing Crocs. That is something we shouldn't support. 100%. Oh man, Justin, love. What's going on? Justin, are you building again? What are we doing? Dallas says Gio is correct. Hell yeah. Love it. But yeah, man, imposter syndrome is fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. And like I said, once I got that little win under my belt yesterday, I started feeling a lot better. So, but yeah, just don't let it get you. Don't let it get you. Because it's temporary, and it's your fucking brain telling you something that is not correct, right? Not. So, yeah. Justin says, I am building again. A little. The TCG brought me back. Oh, it got the hooks in you, huh? It got the hooks in you? Yeah, dude, we were showing, at the top of the show, we were showing off these little gems. I don't know if you remember these, dude. Remember these trading cards that Bandai had of the box art and everything? All these. Yeah, these were freaking dope. Like that one. Oh, that is, yeah. The Nemo. That's good box art. Sandrock is good too. Yeah. But yeah, I was going through a box yesterday and I found these. And then the coup de grace. Oh. The masterpiece. Yeah. Look at that. Somebody sent me this. I forget who, but somebody sent me this in the hard plastic container too. Just, yeah. My favorite. Nice. Good stuff. Let's see. Always shoot for the stars, even if you fall short, you still touch the sky. God damn, Pete. Right? Hell yeah. Justin says the box art cracker cards, LMAO. No, they're good, man. They had those back in the day. Like, I remember going to Japan in 2019, buying a bunch of those, and that's, you know, obviously where I got mine from. But yeah. Justin says, have you seen the TCG stuff? The art is fantastic. Just in passing. I'm not into the card game thing. So yeah, I mean, it's not my deal, but yeah, I've seen some of them and it's pretty good. Pretty good. So Dallas says, content creator I watched named Midlife Stockman. He says, not perfect, but better. Even when you fail, you're still winning or improving over someone who is not even trying. Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a way to look at it too, right? That's a hell of a way to look at it too. At least you're doing something, right? And that's kind of why I started, you know, to kind of try and take this shot, right? To do something, to at least attempt this thing, right? Because regret is another fucking terrible feeling. And I knew if I didn't take this shot, I'd regret it. I mean, I'd still be streaming, don't get me wrong. But, like, if I can do something with this full time and be, you know, a support mechanism, then I at least want to take a shot at it. It might not work out, but at least I'll know. At least I'll know. So, shit. All right, outline scribing, obviously, 0.20. Pretty expected stuff there. Super glue squeeze out on this was not nearly as bad as expected. I think what we did starting up here and then pressing down, it squeezed it all down here. So that was, you know, that was pretty lucky, I think. Got a little bit right there that we can get just with the chisel. Good, good, good. Okay. All right. Outlines are looking pretty good. Let's make sure these corners are shored up and sharp. Okay, like that. Let's turn it around, do the other one. There we go. All right. Good there. Good there. And then the important thing, wrap your panel lines around the edge. Don't ever let me see any of you not do this. Because if it's one damn thing that I preach, always wrap your panel lines, man. Always, always, always wrap your panel lines. Don't just stop at the edge and let it just fall off into the ether. That is not technically sound. I swear if any of you do this, I'm going to clown you till the day that you die. And
then even the bottom, you got to wrap them around. You got to wrap them around. So, Justin, what are you building there, bud? What are we building? Are we still building the minis? Are you on Gundam, or what are we doing? What are we talking about here? He says a little. What does that mean? A little. All right.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. All right. So cap. Chisel discipline. Let's go. Let's go super zoom. All right. So there is our piece. Let's compare the two. Yes, look at that. Twins. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah. So there's that. And then the little tapered box we got going there. We'll put these side panel lines on later tonight on the nighttime stream, but yeah, pretty good. Good conversation. Let's go back to number one. Finish this one out for the day, or for today. But yeah, good stuff. He says, Justin says, I've always got some minis on deck, but with two T's, I did pick up and start working on the Master Grade SD Destiny and some other Gundam stuff. Nice. Look at who's getting reeled back into the hobby, kids. Mr. Justinius Builds himself. The Great Beard. Love it. I love it. I love hearing it. I love seeing it. Everybody's jumping back in. And this, I think, is what the hobby needed. You know, is for everybody to get back in and go all in. You know? And I'm not, mind you, I'm not crediting myself in any way, shape, or form. I am just one of the people, you know, that got back into it. You know, but you look at, you know, you look at me, you look at Justin, you look at, you know, a bunch of other people. Colin, Mr. High Craig, back into it now. You know, a lot of people have jumped back into the hobby, and I am very, very excited about that. Very excited about the prospect of the future too, you know? Especially with this live action movie that's coming out. It may be terrible, but even though it may be terrible, it will probably bring in a fresh wave of people, you know? Even if it's terrible, even if it's Borderlands movie terrible. And honestly, Borderlands was pretty bad, but it did have a few redeeming qualities. But overall, it was absolute shit. But even still, the movie's going to bring in a wave of people. And I think having people that have experience to guide that next wave is going to be crucial. To be able to pass along the experience that we've built up the hard way in most cases, and really guide them, you know, to being scale modelers. You know, I think that's what it's really going to be. I think it's going to be good. Yeah. Justin says, I miss you, man. Same, buddy. Same. He says, you've already got me itching to start doing all this crazy stuff again. See? There we go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Get your Facebook, get your Instagram, get your YouTube going again, make some videos, make some posts. Let's fucking go. Get crazy, buddy. Come on. You got the talent for this thing, dude. Let's go. You know? You got the talent for this thing. You can do this. We all can do this. So, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love seeing that. Love seeing that. Dude, yeah. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. See, and it's... Sorry. I'm getting a bit emotional here, but see, it's examples like this, right? It's examples like this that really touch home for me, right? Especially, you know, in comparison to how I was feeling yesterday, you know? Something like what Justin just said, yeah, it just really makes me feel good. Really makes me feel good. And it's a reminder that we're on the right path. Yeah. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm going to get off my soapbox here. Ever forward. Continue moving forward. Continue improving. Continue doing what we do. And that's the name of the game. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to be back here tonight, 10 p.m. Come on back. We're going to continue pushing through and finishing up on the knee. We're going to probably start on the arms. And yeah, so have a great rest of your day, you guys. Build something cool. Be safe out there. And hopefully I'll see you tonight. Hey, we got a new end screen here too. So big shout outs to, you know, the supporters and everything here. So I will see you guys tonight.